Morning. Happy Sunday, baby. Happy Sunday. Give everybody a minute to join up. I need to get one of those timers, like right here. It says like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, little countdown. So that way, once we get going, we'll know exactly when. We're going to talk a little bit about the Colby, Covington, and Tyron Woodley fight last night. And we're going to talk a little about Cerrone, Nico Price, Chandler signing with the UFC. We'll touch on that. Talk a little bit about the bonuses last night. And I'm going to butcher this dude's name. Cam Chimaev, the dude that knocked him out in 15 seconds last night. Get some thoughts on that guy. He's on a roll. Dana loves him. He's fought, 3 times in the last, 3 months? So, yeah. Give everybody another minute. And Christopher, he said maybe Myles is at the fridge getting a sugar-free Rockstar. My man. The only way we get this done is by hitting this Rockstar, baby. Where's everybody joining from? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. What set? What city? What country? What state are you repping? I got the Detroit Bad Boy shirt on today. As you guys know, I'm from Michigan, right outside Detroit, Hazel Park. So I'm repping that as always. What's up, Olivette? Christopher, what's good, my man? What's good? Tennessee, baby. Tennessee's in the house. Tommy Arnold, what's up, brother? Canada's in the house. Got to have Canada in the house. It wouldn't be the same without a little bit of Canada, eh? We got D.C., Northern Illinois. Adam, what's up, man? It's been a minute. Adam's back. England's in the house. Endicott, New York. Dang, got a little East Coast in the house. I like it. Trippy Leaf's back. What's up, player? What is up? Upstate New York's in the house. John Jones' hometown. Nice, man. Very cool. I just watched John Jones' first fight in the UFC yesterday on YouTube. He fought that Brazilian dude. But green John Jones. Like, you could tell he was still just learning. He was only, I think, 6 months into his career, and he was already fighting in the UFC. And just to see where John Jones was in that first fight in the UFC compared to seeing him nowadays, man, has he just improved so much, and shows what type of athlete he is by just continually improving and just getting so much better. Ireland's in the house. Hamill. Yeah. Robert Long, New Mexico, I think that's what NM is. So New Mexico's in the house. Shout out New Mexico. St. Louis is in the house. Ooh, the 313. Detroit's in the house. My man. Representing. That's what's up. All right, so first things first, what are we grateful for in our life right now? One thing, it could be 2 things, it could be 3 things, whatever. Let me know something that you're grateful for. I'll kick it off. I'm grateful for my family first and foremost. Everybody's happy and healthy right now. I'm grateful that these California fires are finally gone. The last week or so in San Diego, man, the fires that were inland were literally, there was a fog all across San Diego. So it just was like a weird vibe, unhealthy air. So I'm happy that that's finally gone. Now we can get back to beautiful sunshine, beautiful weather, and beautiful air, man. So I'm grateful for that. Grateful for the fights last night, man. So much to be grateful for. My health, everything. So let me know. What are you guys grateful for? Happiness, health, and family. I love it. Man. That's you said it right there. Grateful for Kevin Lee. Yeah. Okay. Kevin Lee. Grateful for MMA. Yep. I love that too, man. Grateful that my on-call is finished tonight at midnight. Okay. Nice, man. Maybe getting out of work a little bit. Warmir's grateful for his graduation this coming Friday, man. Dope, dude. Congratulations. What are you graduating from, Warmir? Let me know. Daniel's grateful for his dogs. Loves the dogs. Of course, man. Yeah. I have 2 dogs as well, Daniel. And man, it's family. My dogs are it's like my other children. Grateful for family. Nice. Warmir's graduating his electrical program. Dope, dude. Congratulations, man. Very, very cool. Hey, guys, if anybody's got any specific questions, make sure to hit that super chat before we get into it. So anybody's got questions, just drop an elbow on the super chat. And if you haven't already, just 1, 2, that thumbs up. Get it. Knock it out of the park. And so let's start off with Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington. Man, weird fight. Going into this fight, heavy favorite, Colby Covington. The real question for me going into this fight was which Tyron Woodley was going to show up. Is it going to be the Tyron of the old, or is it going to be a little bit more of the gun-shy Tyron? And, man, I think last night, Tyron Woodley showed up. He was medium. He wasn't super, super gun-shy, but he definitely wasn't going after Colby at all. I think that's kind of what really hurt Tyron. He backed up a lot the whole fight, backed up, let Colby kind of stay in his face, push him around the cage. And Colby looked good, man. He looked good. I could tell Colby respected Tyron's power because Colby's usually just like throwing a lot more punches. But you could tell that he was picking his shots a little bit more. He was staying tight, and he was respecting, obviously, the knockout power of Tyron Woodley. I mean, my man's knocked out Robbie Lawler. I mean, viciously knocked out Josh Koscheck. Anybody remember that knockout where you hit him with the 1-2, had him rocked, like kind of stunned, and then just hit him with another 2, flattened him. So obviously Tyron Woodley's got super, super big power. And Colby did a great job, man, staying away from that, getting some takedowns. I didn't really see Colby getting takedowns on Tyron. I thought he would just try and outstrike him a lot, pin him up against the cage. But he got some big takedowns, ended up cutting Tyron's eye, beating him up on the ground. And apparently I read this morning that Tyron hurt his rib like early in the fight, and the fight ended when Colby got that takedown and was basically just on top of Tyron, and Tyron like cracked his ribs, man. So they had to call the fight. Colby immediately stands up and starts talking crap to Street Judas, Jorge Masvidal, and calling for the rematch and wanting his belt back against Usman. So huge fight in the welterweight division last night, man. I think personally, I think Colby deserves a shot of the winner of Burns and Usman. That's me personally. Colby has beaten everybody besides the champion Usman, and they had a good fight. It was back and forth until the end where Colby started getting dominated. He got his jaw broke. But I thought that was a dope fight all around, and I want to see that rematch. Obviously, Usman, Burns, they got a battle right now. Burns gets his shot at the title. He defeated Tyron before, so we'll see, man. Because the welterweight division right now is stacked. I think Woodley, or I think Colby versus Jorge Masvidal, man. I think that's another great fight. Apparently, Colby says that he beat the crap out of Masvidal for like the 8 years that they trained together, and because Tyron went and trained with Jorge Masvidal for this fight. And I was reading Colby's interview, and somebody asked him about, hey, what do you think of Tyron training with Jorge Masvidal for this fight? And Colby was basically like, yeah, what is he going to teach Tyron? How to lose? I beat up Masvidal for 8 years. He never did anything. So he's teaching Tyron how to lose. So I can see that fight. Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. I think that'd be a little bit of a money fight. But what do you guys think? Do you think Colby should get the next crack at the welterweight title, or do you think he needs to fight another fight? Let me know your thoughts. He should fight Leon. Okay. I mean, Leon, I think, yeah. I mean, well, Leon hasn't fought in a while, right? That's been a minute. Leon Edwards thinks that Colby should wait until the Burns versus Usman. Yeah, that's what I think, man. I'm thinking the same thing. Covington versus Edwards. Yeah. I mean, it could make sense. The winner fights the winner of Gilbert and Usman. Yeah. I mean, if it depends, I think, on Colby. If he wants to stay active, and doesn't want to sit around and wait for the Usman fight, I think, yeah, he could take that Leon Edwards fight. It makes sense. But here's the thing is, I don't know the exact date, but I want to say Usman and Gilbert Burns, they're fighting very soon, maybe next month, I believe that is. And I mean, Colby's, I think, just gonna wait to get the winner of that fight. Colby should fight Chimaev. How do you say that name? Somebody pronounce it on here, so I know how to say it. Colby was disrespecting Burns hardcore the other day, calling Burns a bum off the street. Yeah. Colby calling everybody a bum. Oh man, Colby's always like Street Judas. This guy's a bum. Oh, beatdown, smashing that super chat, baby. So far, he's going to be the champ today. Beatdown. Let's hear what he's got to say, guys. How would you fight a high-pressure wrestler like Colby, Khabib, etc.? Man, great question. Great question. So, beatdown. First thing you have to do is you have to come in shape. I mean, that's first things first. And I think to beat a high-volume pressure fighter, what I would do is you got to go first, beatdown. You cannot sit back. Here's what happens. When you sit back on a high-volume, high-pressure fighter and you sit back and you start waiting, you're letting them dictate the dance. You're letting them go dictate, what's going to happen. You're in defense mode the whole time when you're backing up. So beatdown, great question. I would say you just got to go. You got to go forward. You got to do you. So if I was to fight Colby, I already know Colby's bringing a high pace. I already know Colby's bringing high pressure. So I just got to go, whether that means, slipping, ripping, whether that means, going back and then going forward, whether that means feinting, going forward, or whether that means just, biting down, man, and chucking, just going. Because if you let that guy get that output, he's going to dictate the whole fight. So go first against those high pressure guys. Sometimes that's all you can do, beat down. Great question, though. Great question. I love it. You guys always got the good questions on here. Very, very good. Shimkanov. Shadows first says Shimkanov. Ev. So yeah. What did you guys think of Shimkov's performance? Obviously, Dana loves this guy, man. I mean, Dana loves guys that fight and go out there and get after it. Shimkov, I feel like he's been impressive. He's coming out fighting back-to-back fights in Fight Island. He just knocked out my man last night in 15 seconds. Super, super impressive. And he's on a roll, man. He's on a roll. 3 wins already in the UFC. This guy has talked about flying to Ireland to try and fight Conor McGregor after McGregor said all that stuff about his country and everything. So obviously this guy's a little crazy like that. He doesn't really care. He just wants to get out there. But I love his attitude. I love that he's continually fighting a lot. And his post-fight speech was awesome. They asked him, like, what were your thoughts going into it? And he's just like, man, I want to hurt that guy. I want to knock that guy out. I want to hurt him. And that's the mindset you need at the level. You just want to, what's the game plan? Oh, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to beat his ass. I mean, that's the game plan. So I love the performance. I still think the guy's a little green. There's a lot of hype behind him, but I still would like to see him fight somebody in the top 15, the top 10, the top 5, all that. So he's got a little ways to go, but I definitely love his style and how he handles stuff. What about you guys? He has speed. Yeah, Shadow. He definitely has speed. Cardio for days, yeah. I would like to see how cardio holds up against the higher class opponents. Because I was reading something that his opponents were like 0-2, 0-0, and this last guy he beat was like 6-5. So I think we'll see how everything goes once he starts stepping up in competition. But yeah, right now he looks like he's got super cardio. Yeah, he said he wanted to kill him last night. That was his thoughts going into the fight. Yeah, man, it's a fight, you know. Yeah, Sean's a striker, though. Yeah, he's a grappler. He didn't look like a grappler last night. He didn't look like a grappler last night. I mean, granted, I hate seeing guys lose fights in the first 10 or 15 seconds of a fight because there's so many things that can happen. You know, he came right out, got right in his face, boom, hit him with the right hand, sat him down, jumped on him. That was it. Beautiful, beautiful performance. I love it, though. I love it. So what do you guys think of Nico Price and Cowboy Cerrone, Donald Cerrone last night? What do you guys think of that fight? Let me know your thoughts. It's a draw. I thought the same thing. Could have went to a draw. I called that one. Nico won, but great fight. Cowboy won. Cowboy won that. Cerrone won. It was close. Okay, so a lot of people thought Cerrone won it. Yeah, I had the first round to Nico. Second round, the first round was a draw because it was a 9-9 because he got the eye poke. Second round was Nico, and third round was Cerrone. That's what I had it. So a draw was what I had going. Nico won, but okay, we need to go to a draw. Yeah, man. And Trippy Leaf says, funny Nico was happy over the draw. Yeah. I mean, a couple times that I've met Nico Price, he just seems like a wild man. You know, he seems like he's just a very unique individual. So I wasn't surprised that he's smiling about the draw and everything. Look at Eli Soriano is hitting the super chat. Let's see what he's got to say, guys. I have anxiety. How do you deal with high pressure? Okay, Eli, are you talking about in a fight or just in life in general? So anxiety and how do you deal with high pressure? So first thing with anxiety, I think anxiety comes from either thinking too much into the future or the past. When you're present, Eli, and you're just focused on the moment, I feel like that's your best chance of being at peace and not having anxiety. So Eli, when you start having anxiety, just catch your thoughts, and usually they're about the future or the past. Just stay in the present moment, take a breath, focus on your breathing. That's the best way to deal with anxiety. Focus on your breath, be in the present moment, man. And as far as pressure, how do you deal with high pressure? Are you talking about in a fight? As far as somebody's coming at you? I need to know that one. But great question. So I think last night, Donald Cerrone versus Nico Price. Cerrone, man, needs about 3 minutes of getting punched in his face nowadays to really wake up and get into it. I don't know if he's just a little too nice nowadays or if he's getting older. My question is can Cerrone hang with the elite fighters? You know, Nico Price, I believe he's top 15. But last night he just looked very hesitant. He looked like, his mind wasn't there. He did eat some shots. He did stay tough. He pushed it through. He had a couple of good moments, but man, it just looked like Cerrone doesn't really fight well going backwards in the whole fight. He sat back going backwards. So I wonder how he's going to do at the elite level. I don't think he's done or anything like that, but the question is can Cerrone hang at the top 15s and everything? I did see before the fight, Dana White said everything's on the line for Cerrone. Everything is on the line for this fight with Cerrone. And then even after, I seen Dana had a quote that said that it's time for him and Cerrone to have a talk about what's next. So I don't know, man. I mean, it just depends. It's hard to stay in the UFC if you're not winning and you're not winning impressively. So be interested to see what happens with Cerrone. I thought it was a great fight. I thought Nico did perfect, man, coming out, hitting that boxing, those overhands, that forward pressure, just high volume. And you've seen little glimpses throughout the fight. Cerrone would kind of get back into the fight. He would land a good shot or a good knee or elbow or kick. So it was a good fight, and I'm interested to see what's next for both those guys. I honestly think 55 is a better division for Cerrone, man. He's going to be fighting good guys. I think at 55, guys can't walk him back as much because that's when Cerrone doesn't do well, when he gets pushed backwards. And Nico did a great job last night pushing him backwards. So going back to Eli's question when he hit the super chat. So Eli says, in a fight. So how do you deal with anxiety in a fight and pressure? So Eli, pressure from a fight is all perceived. So there's always something your mind's going to say about a fight that you have. You got to win. You can't lose. Money isn't about it. This shot in the UFC, you got to, a title, whatever the case is, each fight brings perceived pressure. And I would just suggest, Eli, to just remind yourself why you are fighting, why you want to be a fighter. It isn't necessarily, it should be something that you love, you're passionate about. It should be something, the experience, you love the experience, and ground yourself in your whys. And that kind of gets rid of a lot of that pressure, that perceived pressure of winning, of having to have a certain performance. That's just all stuff in the mind. So I would say, remind yourself your why you're fighting, what made you get into it, and ground yourself in that. And as far as anxiety for a fight, Eli, I would say your training. Your training, you should trust your training. You're prepared. You put the work in. There's nothing to be anxious about. It's just going to come. Let it come, man. Be in the moment. Trust the process. You put the work in. You train hard. The fight is the reward. It should be like you should be like a kid at Christmas time on fight day. So trust the process. Stay in your heart, Eli. Stay out of your head. And just stay right here. Trust it, and go out there and whoop some butt, dude. So yeah, what do you guys think is next for Cerrone? Do you guys think Cerrone needs to go to 55? Do you think he needs to maybe change some of his style? Do you think some of you guys think he's done? The rematch, yeah. I'd like to see Cerrone versus Nico, that rematch. Ty Bear says hang him up. Yeah, we'll see. Diego Sanchez versus Cerrone for the fans. Last fight. Yeah, dude, that would be an interesting fight. Both those guys freaking get after it. Cerrone versus Perry too. That'd be a tough fight right now for Cerrone. Cerrone does good against guys when he's pissed off, man. When you piss Cerrone off, he does good. Phantom says use more of his BJJ. Yeah. Cerrone versus T Wood. Yeah, that might be like an interesting fight right now. Yeah, I could see that. Cowboy needs a break. He would be great with a reality show and the ranch. He should start planning for the next phase. So yeah, maybe he needs to start, planning for that next phase. A loser leaves town match between him and Sanchez. Oh man, dude, that's the old WWE stuff. The old steel cage. Steel chair match. Yes, yeah, I'd fight Cerrone again for sure. That'd be one I'd like to get back. Obviously, I feel like I'm in my prime right now, and Cerrone's past his prime. So yeah, I like that matchup. Would I rock WWE? Probably not. I like watching WWE a little bit, but I don't think I'd ever want to be a wrestler or anything like that. Oh, Keelan 1 hitting the super chat. Boom. Good job. Ideas while you are training to be a pro MMA. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Keelan. I think Keelan's talking about a video that I did talking about 3 jobs that you can have on your way to the UFC. So yeah, great jobs, man. Teaching jiu-jitsu or striking, being security. And, I also worked at the zoo as well. So all good jobs that I loved on my route to the UFC. I definitely think bouncing and security is in teaching jiu-jitsu or striking. Those are the best jobs to have, guys. If you guys want to go to the UFC or you want to make a career out of this, being a bouncer or working security and Yeah, like I mean, just basically being a bouncer, working security, and teaching jujitsu or teaching striking, if it affords you with the ability to make your training schedule the number one priority, because that's number one, having your training schedule locked in. Everything else is secondary. So when I was working security, I was able to work 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and I would go home, get some sleep, and I was able to train the next day all day. And same thing with jujitsu and striking classes. I would go to the gym, I would teach an hour or two, and then I would stay there and I would do my own training. So great jobs to have. Ooh, Beatdown, he's back, baby. Hitting that super chat. So far, Beatdown is the champ. Which opponent hit you the hardest? Let me see here. Pound for pound. I mean, Ally Quinta hit hard. He just had like a thud in his punch. Mendez hit hard, but Mendez was fast, man. I didn't see Mendez. So he was probably more, I mean, he was explosive and he hits hard, but his is just, I think speed is a little more than power for him. Jeremy Stevens hits hard. I train with him a lot. He punched me the other day, man. We were sparring and thought he took my nose off. So he hits hard. Let me see who else. Yeah, I mean, those are probably, those are some of the harder hitting guys that I fought. So great question, Beatdown. Great question. All right. So let's go over the 50K bonuses last night, baby. Some guys getting some cheddar and some girls. We had Chimaev getting that performance of the night with that 15-second knockout. We had Mackenzie Dern with the armbar. We had Damon Jackson tapping out Masad, which that was a big win at 145. And we had Randy Costa with that head kick, man, knockout. So 50K all day. Those guys and girls got to be feeling pretty good today. Oh, you see what I just did right there? Did a little rhyme for you guys. So, yeah, so congrats to all of them. $50,000, man. That's life-changing, especially when you don't have no money and you're coming up from the bottom. I got a question for you guys. If you were to get $50,000 today, right now, Dana White was to call you and say, hey, we'll give you a $50,000 bonus. What would you spend it on? Right now, 50 grand wired to your account. Boom. Today, Sunday, September 20th. What would you guys spend that money on? Or would you save it? Which one? Beatdown says real estate. My man. I like where your head's at. Invest and some cool stuff, says Warmere. What kind of cool stuff? And what would you invest in? Spend it on a house. Okay. Chipotle sauce. Yeah. You'd have, man, imagine how many Chipotle bottles sauce that you could get for $50,000. Invest in property, invest food, save for a house, move out of this crappy attic in Queens, New York. Straight up. I love it. We'll buy some land to plants. Okay. Coming from Outsmoked, I wouldn't expect anything less. Oh, man. Apartment and training gear. Okay. Start a food delivery business. I love it, man. I love where your guys' heads are at. From business to cool stuff to real estate. So, yeah, I was just wondering about that. But congrats to the $50,000 fight or performance of the night winners last night. Man, is that awesome. Whew, if you haven't seen that video that I did on the channel, guys, when I got the $50,000 bonus, check it out. I talked about what I bought with it and what it was like, the whole process. It's awesome. Awesome, crazy experience. So if you haven't heard yet, Michael Chandler is signed with the UFC, and he's serving as the backup behind Justin Gaethje and Khabib. Whoa, that is a huge, huge addition to the lightweight division. Michael Chandler, this guy is multiple Bellator champion, wars with Eddie Alvarez, knockouts, built like a little tank, great cardio, just coming off of knocking out Benson Henderson, who's the only person to really do that like that. So Michael Chandler, he's just a huge addition, huge exciting style, and what an opportunity UFC is giving him. Not only are they signing him, but they're giving him the backup to Khabib and Gaethje, and possibly they might give him a shot at the winner. So, I mean, I heard Chandler, that's what he wants. He wants to be right in that top 5. He doesn't want to sit around. None of that. He wants to get right in there. So what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to sink or do you think he's going to swim? Is he going to beat some of these guys like a Khabib or a Gaethje or Poirier, beat those guys? Or is he going to end up maybe like a Will Brooks and go 1-2 or 1-3 in the UFC? Very suspect chin. Okay. Chandler versus Ferguson instead. I'd love to see that fight. I think he beats Ferguson, dude. I think he takes Ferguson down and just ground and pounds the crap out of him. Chandler's gonna murk Kebab. Okay. I think stylistically, I think that's a very interesting fight, man. Very, very interesting fight. Khabib versus Chandler. He's gonna float, says Warmier. Okay. Gonna beat all but Khabib. Yeah, just like everybody else. Chandler versus Oliveira is a good test. Agreed. I think that's a very, very sick fight. Ben Askren 2.0. Oh, man, I think he's going to do better than Ben Askren. Chandler's overrated. Steroid machine. We'll see. We'll see, man. Now he's in USADA's testing pool. So if he's doing steroids or anything like that, we'll know a lot more because they're going to be on him. Testing him, blood, urine, all that stuff. Chandler versus Ige. 50K Ige, I think, is at 145. So, yeah, I think personally, I think Chandler's got a lot of adversity coming his way from stepping into the UFC cage, fighting a top 5 guy. So I think on paper, a lot of stuff is stacked against him. But if anybody can do it, it's going to be Michael Chandler. That's my opinion. And I'm leaning on the fact of he's going to do well. I think he's going to surprise some people. I think a lot of people are counting him out. And I think Michael Chandler is going to do well in the UFC. Chandler versus Paulo Costa. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's awesome for the division, though. There's a lot of exciting fights for Michael Chandler, guys. A lot of exciting fights. Like we just mentioned, Oliveira, Ferguson, Poirier, Gaethje, or Khabib. I mean, those are all good fights. Not only like whether Chandler's going to win or lose, but just stylistically and entertainment-wise, those are just all entertaining fights. UFC knows it, and Chandler knows it too. I know Chandler's ready to rock from everything I've seen from him, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see imagine if he steps in. Imagine if Khabib or Gaethje, one of them tests positive for COVID, and they're like, hey, Michael Chandler, boom, you're getting right in. You're going to get an interim belt. Or, if it's Gaethje, you're going to get a shot at that interim belt. Or, hey, imagine if Justin Gaethje tests positive for COVID, is out. Chandler steps in and knocks Khabib out. Imagine that, huh? And then Chandler retires. The champ. Oh, man, that would be crazy. Ooh. Beat down. All right, my man's hitting the super chat again, coming at with some great questions, guys. Let's see what Beatdown says right here. Which fighters were your inspiration while you were coming up? Great question, Beatdown, because the fighters I'm going to mention, they had a huge impact on me. I would live vicariously through them ever since I was in high school and I started watching fighting up until I got into the UFC, and even still to this day a little bit. Huge inspiration to me. I mean, this is guys that I would mimic myself after, and I would want to be like. I would structure my training like, and my style like, all that. And Beatdown, the very first guy that was a huge inspiration to me was Tito Ortiz. When I watched UFC 40, Vendetta, Tito Ortiz versus Ken Shamrock, all the fight leading up to it, it showed their training. The way Tito trained, man, he was always about work ethic, being aggressive, speaking his mind, not caring what nobody thinks. I loved it. I really got from Tito working hard and earning whatever it is that you want. And then next up, Beatdown, as I got a little bit older, I really loved George St. Pierre. You know, his mindset, the way he took fights and the way he structured his training and the way he perceived the fights. It really made me realize like how important intelligence is. And I remember a quote. George St. Pierre was getting ready to fight BJ Penn, and they did the countdown for that. And GSP was talking about in war, when countries go to war and battle, it's not the strongest country that wins or the strongest group or team, whatever you want to call it. It's the ones with the most advanced weapons, the ones with the best tactics. Compared to like a bow and arrow, compared to another one's got a rifle, who's going to win? The guy with the rifle, right? So Beatdown, I really understood the importance of intelligence in the game from George St. Pierre. So great question. Tito Ortiz and George St. Pierre, two huge inspirations to me as I was growing up as a kid watching fighting. And I've had the opportunity to train with GSP, which was awesome. I've had the opportunity to go out to dinner with them and go to like lunch with them and just, talk to him one-on-one. And man, super, dream come true. I'm still a huge fan of his today. I haven't met Tito yet, but I've seen Tito Ortiz was on the live stream here with us. So shout out Tito Ortiz. But I would love to still meet Tito. I'm still a huge fan of his. Maybe I could go train with Tito one of these days. So great question. Great question, Beatdown. I love it. I love it. So, guys, before I get going today, I wanted to touch on a little bit of investing with you. And it's coming off of a Ken McElroy video on YouTube that he just did. If you guys haven't watched the video yet, go check out Ken McElroy's YouTube. It's the video that he posted. And he's talking about real estate and the market. And he basically says, guys, that next year, there's going to be a big correction in real estate. And a lot of people right now, real estate prices are super, super high. And the reason why, like Ken says, is there's just no inventory. So what happens is when there's no inventory, prices go up. The only way to get them prices down is to get more inventory. So that way people have more properties they can try and go buy. Thus, it'll drive down the prices. Prices are high because there's just no inventory. It's like, imagine if you want a house and there's only one house in that neighborhood that you like, but there's thousands of people that want that house. Well, guess what? They're going to be bidding like crazy, bidding it up. Price is going to stay high. But imagine this. Imagine if there was 10 houses in that same neighborhood and you wanted one of those. Well, now you can negotiate on 10 different properties instead of just that one. So the prices will come down a little bit. And the reason why Ken says that there's going to be a crash is because there's just a lot of signs about what's going on. Ken was around in the last real estate crash. We got high unemployment, a lot of people that can't afford their mortgage payments right now and are in forbearance and basically mortgage default. A lot of renters that can't afford their rent and a lot of landlords that can't evict them because of the memorandum that you can't evict somebody right now. So with all that being said, next year, once this memorandum goes up and it expires, next year, once the forbearance ends, there's going to be a lot of properties hitting the market. And so be prepared. That's the whole point of the video. And that's what I want to say to everybody out there. If you guys want to capitalize on this next correction next year, make sure you guys are getting prepared. And that's all it's about. That's what I'm doing. I'm staying prepared right now. I haven't been buying anything. I just been stacking money. And that's one of the things Ken says in his video. The first thing he says is cash is king. When there's a correction or a downturn in the market, like it's going to be coming up, whoever's got cash, you're going to be in a lot better position. So save your money. Don't buy any crazy purchases right now. Don't catch a falling knife. And it's tough. It's tough right now because I'm used to being aggressive, buying, finding deals, and I haven't. I've been sitting back. No, all the deals out there don't make sense. All the deals are higher overpriced. Too many people trying to buy them. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting, and I thought that video was beautiful. I really do. So if you guys want to take advantage of this next downturn or correction, make sure you stay prepared. Check out Ken's video as well because there's a lot of other pointers in there. And stack that cheddar. Yep, exactly. And I mean, this isn't like a political channel, but I definitely vote. I mean, give your opinion of who you think should be the next president. And with elections coming up, stuff is weird right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. But Ken talks a little bit about the election in his video, and he says he's not really worried about that. Whether the property taxes go up, whether new laws come into play, whatever happens from the election, he'll adjust and he'll move forward with it. But he's just staying prepared right now. That's the big thing. Stay prepared, guys. Stay educating yourself. And, of course, stay smashing those thumbs up buttons and those, if you haven't already, those subscribe buttons as well. And that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It was great kicking it with you guys. And have a blessed Sunday. And stay tuned for this week. We're gonna do another video coming out. And, man, awesome time chatting with you guys. I will talk to you soon.